Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, guys. This is a big one. Oh, my goodness. Kash Patel just filed a major lawsuit against the FBI Director, Chris Wray. They said that he was conspiring to cover up the whole Biden scandal. So now he's being called the destroyer who's going after the Bidens for the corruption that they've done. Also, Trump reportedly told Justin Trudeau that if his terrorists destroyed Canada, and the country could not survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then Canada should become the United States' 51st state, with Trudeau serving as its governors. Guys, it don't get any crazier than this. Today's news has been mind-blowing. But we now have where Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, Donald Trump, are now looking through Congress to see if what Joe Biden just done, pardoning his son, will exempt Joe Biden himself from being looked into, indicted, and standing before Congress. Remember, they're all tied together. The Hunter Biden dealings involved Joe Biden whenever he was vice president. And that's why he was able to get all the things done, referring to the big guy, Joe Biden, in all of his deal makings with Ukraine and the overseas countries. On top of this, this is huge. Remember, this is a big cover-up that now even House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan is going to be starting a new probe into the Bidens because guess what? Joe Biden didn't even go through the normal process of pardoning his son. So there is an issue and a flaw with that, guys. This is literally corruption exposed at the highest level. Kash Patel, who's going to be the new FBI director, said he is going after the Bidens, and he said that the American people have the right to know what has happened behind the scenes with this family and their corruption, and he's going to hold them accountable. We now have it where Trump has come out with a new personal video. We're going to show you in just a moment on how he's going to protect the border, the new laws that he's going to put into place to make sure that no human traffickers ever exist inside of America again. And guys, they are insanely serious, and it's just wait till you hear it. We also have it where I just told you Trump is literally talking about making Canada the 51st state of the United States. I don't know, they got a lot of land and oil, so I think that'd be nice. But also, we now have some Democratic governors that are reaching out to border czar Tom Homan to help with the migrant issue, citing that it is out of control and they cannot control it anymore. They need the help of Tom Homan and Trump. These are Democratic governors, guys. And the biggest one, New York City Mayor Adams, says he needs help cleaning up his city. Just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. Guys, you're already blowing up the chat already. This is a big, big show. Let's see the popcorn emojis going on this because it is a big one. The destroyer, Kash Patel, is not coming to play. He's coming to do business. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button. Just want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel. Thank you for being here. And also thank you to everybody that has already given a super chat donation already. Lily O'Brien, Judy Lynn Loving Spirit, Queen of Yeshua, B1 Sly One for gifting a membership. Let's go. Yeah, guys, let's see the popcorn. We got a show for y'all. This one's going to get crazy. Check it out.
Like Trump dropping a bomb on the deep state by tapping Kash Patel to lead the FBI. Trump says Kash will work to snuff out America's crime epidemic, bust up migrant gangs, and stymie drug and human trafficking. It's got all the usual suspects in the media spooked. Listen.
It's a terrible development for the men and women of the FBI. Kash Patel is profoundly unqualified for this job. It's not even like a matter for debate.
I haven't seen what the proof is that the FBI has been weaponized against a political party. The deep state, nobody's ever defined it. Apparently, it just means anybody who doesn't do the will of Donald Trump.
So the reaction to this, Charlie, is similar to the Gates nomination reaction.
Yeah, you're the enemy of these people is going to be my friend, no matter what. It's the greatest endorsement you could possibly come up with. No, this is going to be, we were talking a minute ago, and it's true. With the defenestration of Matt Gaetz, these are going to be the hearings to watch. This is going to be the opportunity to put the Department of Justice on trial. It's going to be fantastic watching these hearings. And I think, and Kash Patel has a lot of experience. Like, for example, we would not know about the whole Steele dossier and what a fraud it is if it had not been for the work that he and Devin Nunes did. And he was Nunes's right-hand guy there. And so, it's hard to overstate how much credit he deserves for Donald Trump getting reelected. He wouldn't even be, if all of that hadn't been exposed, the depth of the rot in the Department of Justice hadn't been exposed, I don't think Donald Trump could have come back and won re-election. And so it's going to be, these hearings are going to be amazing. I don't know whether or not, I would imagine that most Republicans are going to look at him and say, assuming that he does a good job in the hearings, and they're going to say, you know what, we're going to give Trump his pick here.
Right, but these are going to be tight. I mean, he can't afford to lose, more
many.
than 3, right?
Not too many. And one thing that I thought was interesting is if you have a chance to listen to or read what Trey Gowdy said about Kash Patel last night, because Trey Gowdy, let's say you don't know Kash Patel from anybody, you couldn't pick him out of a lineup, and you do trust somebody like a Trey Gowdy who said he is an excellent choice, that he'll do a terrific job. And I'm like, Trey Gowdy, I would imagine there's a lot of Republicans who, if they are like, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm initially concerned. You hear from somebody like Trey Gowdy, who has a lot of integrity and a lot of credibility still on the Hill, as a lot of other people don't, think that says a lot. The other thing is the Hunter Biden pardon takes a lot of pressure off of Kash Patel, because now that was going to be the big story going into the week, and it no longer is, because President Biden decided to make that news and step on that story.
And they decided it over Thanksgiving dinner in
Yes,
Nantucket.
of course.
That's when
Right.
it all went down. Kash Patel's all about, Judge.
I don't know him that well. He's one of the few people that I haven't interviewed. I don't know why. I mean, he was involved in the first Trump administration. But I'll tell you what I like about what I've read. He's interested in a declassification office in the FBI, where all government agencies, have to request a classification. So that, those deep staters that, what's his name, doesn't seem to know, and Raskin doesn't seem to know who they are, what it means. I could tell you in 8 of my books. But so that they can't just block the American people from getting information based upon it being classified. I think that is...
Guys, I love it. They literally coining this guy as the deep state destroyer to go after all the corruption and the Bidens and make sure the American people know the dang truth. I love it.
Brilliant. I'm very much behind it. The Democrats have weaponized government. They've done it for years, and they did it in the FISA court with an unverified document and money that Steele dossier was paid for by Hillary Clinton through her law firm, and it goes on. And there has been no consequence for those people who were lying about that unverified warrant. No consequence, nothing. Even the court did nothing. If you did that to me and I was a sitting judge, I'd have you disbarred for it. That you would dare to come to me to spy on an American citizen through the FISA court and through a lie that is unverified. But in the end, I think that is one of the most important things he can do. And it is, we want to know about JFK.
Yep.
We want to know about 9/11. I want to know about crooks. What about this Foreign Encryption Act? I mean, this app that he has that's encrypted that nobody can get into. I want to know what that says.
Well,
Guys, I'm telling you, they're ready to release everything. Even Kash Patel said, look, I'm going to release it all. I'm going to release the Epstein list. I'm going to release the Diddy list. I'm going to release everything that I can because the American people deserve to know the truth. Thank you so much, Andy, for the super chat. He said, you're making my Christmas. I hope this is real. Let's go. And Judy Lynn Loving Spirit, thank you so much. She said, I trust the Lord to care for us and that he has chosen the right president for the job. One day it won't even matter, for it will be all over. God bless you, Joel, and all the hard work you do. Let's go. Y'all show them some love in the chat, everybody. Because this right here, what you're seeing on the screen, is the executive grant of clemency that Biden wrote. But this is it. Biden bypassed the Justice Department's pardon office to issue a pardon for his son. This is not normal, the way that he's done this. So this is where, again, too, Johnson and everybody that saw this, Speaker of the House, said, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're going to look into this because this needs to be approved not just by Biden himself, but by the actual clemency office, pardon clemency office, to make sure that it is legitimate 100% and that he has all the standing to do it. Thank you so much, Jesus Ciordia. Let's go. He said Joe ran in 2020 with his mind all along. He knew because of the inside leaks that he and his family were in jeopardy. He will issue blanket pardons for all members of his administration. He's the most corrupt person to ever sit in the Oval Office, period. Jesus, 100%. Y'all show Jesus some love in the chat. Let's go. Because remember, Karine Jean-Pierre said that Biden was going to be pardoning, but issuing more pardons, guys. That is what we're about to see in the next coming weeks. So 100%, it's coming. Not just for him, but more of his family members. And I love what Grant Cardone said. He said Grant Cardone, he's a billionaire, big capitalist, loves Trump, supports Trump big time, said Donald Trump will accomplish more before he gets into office than Joe Biden did while he was in office. Release all of the hostages in Gaza. Stop funding sanctuary cities. Total collapse of MSM. Mexico agrees to end migrant caravans. Tariff threats put Canada, Mexico, and China in check. Put an end to illegal immigration, guys. That's what he's doing. This is how crazy it is, guys, because the next video you're going to see, this is straight. Like, you can't make this up, what you're about to hear next, because we got new leaked details coming from Trump and Trudeau's meeting over the tariffs with Canada. Check this out.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Right.
Guys, Trump, now he says a lot of stuff and he's eccentric, but he's already thinking, guys. Imagine what more could seal his presidency than to literally add Canada as a 51st state of the United States, guys. This is insane. But we got more leaked news. Check this out.
What happens every time there is a Democrat scandal the media can't explain away? The story becomes a Republican's pounce story every single time. What's a Republican's pounce story? Because the media cannot explain away Democrat, disgusting, filthy, communist, authoritarian, filth bag, grotesquity behavior, they make the story about not the scandal, but the Republican reaction to it. Sometimes they actually write Republicans pounce. He's like, I got an example. No. Yes, we do. Politico. Republicans pounce on Biden pardoning his son Hunter. Notice, the story isn't about what the Democrats did, these scumbags. The story's about the Republican reaction. This is who Politico is. This is why nobody takes these idiots seriously. It's why, according to that Pew survey or whatever it was, Gallup, 31% of Americans only trust the mainstream media, meaning 7 out of 10 think you guys suck. It's because you do suck. Here's at the Tonus, Tony Kinnan, a great tweet. Here are just some of the Biden lies that the media is covered for every single time because they're disgusting filth, just like the garbage Biden family. Filth. It's transitory inflation. Nope. Afghanistan was a success. Really? The border is secure. That's a good one. Robert Hur lied. Biden is just fine. Remember special counsel Hur? Sure. Remember the videos of Biden disappearing off camera? Oh, those are cheap fakes. They weren't. Biden had jet lag. No, he's got a cognitive disorder. Biden had a cold. No, he's got a cognitive disorder. Biden isn't going to be replaced. He was. Biden isn't going to pardon Hunter. He did. By the way, the list goes on and on. People have responded to this tweet, and you should retweet it. I did. It's a good one. And people have added to a series of other Biden lies. He traveled on the Tibetan plateau with Xi Jinping. He grew up in the Puerto Rican, Black, the Jewish community, the Greek community, the Italian community. He attended church on Sunday, the temple on Saturday. Then he went to the Islamic. He met with the imam, and he was a civil rights activist. He finished first in his class. He was the outstanding student. He was a letterman. The guy was Jerry Rice in the NFL before Jerry Rice was Jerry. This guy's full of shit, man.
Sorry, guys.
He's full of...
I didn't catch the one before.
He's leaving. What's the big deal? It is a big deal. It is a big deal. Because the story's not about disgusting, filthy Biden and his filthy, disgusting family. You know what the story's about? The media cover-up of this freaking crime family that's allowed them for decades to give you the double-barrel middle finger, the taxpayer. You were paying these idiots. Yeah, the Biden family. You were getting rich off these life losers. Now, I do want to throw this curveball in there. The Biden family is not out of the woods yet.
Nope. I got
There's
you guys.
Zero question Hunter Biden is going to get hauled in front of Congress at some point. And now the fact that he has been
That is 100% true, and I've got the evidence to show you that Weiss, one of the peoples who has indicted, his name is Special Counsel David Weiss, rejects Hunter Biden's bid to dismiss his indictment. Homeboy is still going to show up in front of Congress. Even though he's been pardoned, he's going to show up to talk before Congress and tell the American people what happened.
in one of the most, if not the most expansive pardon in modern American history. For crimes, federal crimes, remember, you can't pardon for state crimes. So if Hunter Biden were to get charged by a state, there's absolutely nothing Biden can do. There's nothing Trump could do either when he's, you can only pardon for federal crimes. The governors, but for federal crimes, that's it, the president. You know that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like an asshole here, but you guys get that.
Oh, man, sorry, guys.
Here's the problem they have. Now that he can't possibly incriminate himself for federal crimes that he has been pardoned on, if he's hauled in front of Congress, ladies and gentlemen, they got a legit case here to compel testimony.
Yep.
Now, I have zero doubt Hunter Biden's going to give them the middle finger and say, I'm not saying nothing about nothing. But then they should look at investigating him for ignoring this congressional subpoena. He's going to say, I'm not showing up. And here's another problem. If he doesn't tell the truth and decides to testify and he lies, he can still be charged with perjury. Here's a hat tip, Tom Elliott over at Grabian, great site. Here is a compilation, by the way. I told you this was a media story of the media filth and garbage that have protected this crime family at your expense for decades now, pretending these people were above it. Oh, look how gregarious and morally upstanding Joe Biden is. He's not going to pardon his son. Go back and look at my show. I am not wasting your freaking time. I told you there is zero chance Hunter Biden doesn't get a pardon because they've got to protect dad no matter what. And now it's happened. You listen to these media idiots, they're wrong again. Their batting average is 0. We're hitting 1,000. Check this out.
Presidential promise to put the law before a family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers. Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait and see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but I mean, but he said it.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Major commitment from the president, accepting the outcome of the trial and also pledging not to pardon his son.
So the challenge for him is really to continue to live up to his values when it was really personal, and he did that today.
It seems like a pretty normal, straightforward answer, but it takes new weight when we see what Trump is saying about the outcome of his trial, what we're hearing from other Republicans who say they don't accept the jury's verdict here in New York.
The contrast is profound. To sit there and say, well, I'm not going to intervene in the legal process, and I wouldn't pardon my son. One side, Democrats and Joe Biden protecting the justice system. And on the other, Republicans and Trump protecting Trump.
Oh my gosh, how much more can you liberal idiots take? All the right people are really pissed off about this whole thing, by the way, with Kash Patel coming up, including Andy Weissman and others. But before we're done, I just want to play for you a clip again of how these people are always wrong on everything. If you are listening to Andrew McCabe, Jim Comey, Andrew Weissman, Chuck Todd, Brian Stelter, Rachel Maddow, Natasha Bertrand, all of these losers who have been on the wrong side of everything, the laptop, the intel officials, Spygate, collusion, the pardon. Why do you keep listening to these idiots? Here's Andrew Weissman, another human filth pile who used to work at the DOJ and was knee-deep in the spying scandal on Donald Trump and the collusion hoax. Here he is vouching for Biden. Oh, look how great he is. He's not going to pardon his son. These guys are a gift to us because all we got to do is play their own stupidity back for them. Check this out.
What is before us is a president who is living the rule of law. He is living it in the most personal way. He is not pardoning his son, which he could do. These are federal charges. Right. He is not doing that. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country.
That was our friend Mays. Listen, I need your help.
Guys, I'm telling you, like, what we're seeing is not over yet. Because Kash Patel, and just like Bongino said, there's still things that they're going to go after. They're going to go after Hunter for. Because, remember, Joe Biden pardoned him from 2014 to 2024. But if he goes on stand and he perjures himself because they ask him the questions about what the heck actually went on, then he could then go to prison for the stuff which he actually committed because he's committing a new crime. But this is what I wanted to show you. This is huge, guys, because remember, it's one thing. We've all heard all these crazy just Democratic mayors and governors say, we're going to fight Trump and we're going to protect these illegal migrants and we're not going to let them take them out. But listen now, that I never believed would happen, but Mayor Eric Adams of New York, check this out.
The Democratic mayor in New York, Eric Adams, a former cop, is ready to work with you.
I hope so, because I've just been notified he wants to sit down and meet with me. I'm willing to meet with him. I'm willing to meet with anybody to help make their community safer. Because, again, prioritization out of the gate is public safety threats. Work with us on that. It makes your community safer. It keeps my officers safe. It keeps the community safe. Let's work together and get this done.
When's that meeting happen?
I haven't responded yet, but I'll respond this week.
Okay, we'll be in touch with you and him.
Guys, y'all hear that, guys? That's big. Thank you so much, Judy Lynn Loving Spirit, for gifting a membership. Let's go. And thank you so much, Julie Renee. I switched back, guys, the audio so that it's back to the way I had it before. I tried out some new speakers because I wanted to give, because some people say that it's not loud sometimes, but I wanted to try something new. It didn't work. I'm going to return them. I just want to bring you the absolute best experience possible, so just know that's what I'm working towards. But y'all show them some love in the chat. Listen to this, guys, because I'm telling you, some people are so upset with what's happened, even on CNN. Check this out.
Democrats portrayed the president as this great arbiter of morality and truth. They said that he somehow was a better standard bearer for protecting norms and the institutions of our country, and yet that wasn't true. They lied. So you can go all the way back to 2022 when they were asked this.
Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, my goodness. 1 second.
Lied over and over and over again. They could have simply said, to MJ's point, to Chuck's point, the president isn't going to put his thumb on the scales of justice. He's going to wait. He hasn't made a decision yet. Most people would have expected that. They would have respected that. I think most people, to your point, Chuck, believe if it was my child, I probably would have done the same thing. That's not the issue, Jake. The question here, the burden on the White House, I would argue, is the continuous lies. You said that you were better than this other guy. You criticized the other guy for all of these things, and now your DOJ is committing witch hunts, and this is now politicized. Well, you appointed Merrick Garland. You kept blaming Republicans for that. And I can only imagine, as I've talked to a lot of Republicans, if this were Donald Trump, and I know people are going to give him a lot of criticism for the pardons he's already given, but if this were him and Don Jr. or Eric Trump or Ivanka, I can only imagine what the headlines would have been. And I will say, if you're Democrats and you're trying to walk this straight line that we're somehow better than Republicans because we care more about the future and state of this democracy, I think that's trash now. No one believes it. No one believes they've lost all credibility for the facade they portrayed for several years.
Guys, oh my goodness. He literally just said on CNN that everything the Democrats says is trash. Tell me, do you agree? I'm telling you guys, things are changing on the spectrum. Check this out. Oh.
We told you Biden family Thanksgivings are legendary, and Nantucket was no different this year. We thought Frankie Four Fingers would lose another finger, but instead, the big guy gave Hunter an early Christmas gift, a pardon over turkey dinner. Quote, no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases could reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. We were still picking at Thanksgiving leftovers when Joe pardoned his son and hopped on a plane to Africa.
Wow.
He went to Angola, 7,000 miles away. Oh, and he left his wife home to face the music.
Dr. Biden, what changed on the pardon for Hunter?
Biden's even leaking to CNN. He wasn't really sure if he was going to pardon Hunter, but his wife made him do it.
Wow.
You know women.
Clearly, there was pressure inside the family. We were told really in recent weeks that Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, was very supportive of the president doing something like this. The president was not sure, but we clearly have seen now he has come to this decision to pardon his son Hunter.
Biden pardons his son at his donor's Nantucket home, throws his wife under the bus, jets off to Africa, and makes a fool out of Binder. Because this poor lady said 1,000 times a pardon was off the table.
We've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying
it's still a no. It's still a no.
And will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
I guess no means yes.
Leave now and agree with President-elect Trump that the justice system has been weaponized for political purposes and that it needs root and branch reform.
No, read the president's statement. Seriously, read the president's statement. He said he believes in the Department of Justice. He does. He also believes that raw politics infected the process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. He believes his son was unfairly targeted. He said that what his political opponents have done to my son, that's his words, is cruel and enough is enough.
So Biden is saying the Biden Justice Department was weaponized against Hunter, but not against Trump. The same Justice Department. Got it. It's fitting that Biden's presidency started with a cover-up and ended with one. The laptop, the lab leak, his health,
Deanna Rankin, thank you so much for the super chat. And Sheila Brown, thank you so much. Y'all show them some love in the chat, everybody. Y'all are doing amazing tonight. Let's go.
And then a blanket pardon that historians are saying is bigger in scope than Richard Nixon's. Biden went from my son did nothing wrong to here's a pardon that goes back a decade. 42-year sentence for tax and gun felonies. It's the crack's fault. Biden went from I never talked business with my son to, yeah, I had spaghetti dinners with his Ukrainian clients, but we just talked about the weather. I didn't think it was possible for Biden to humiliate the Democrats any more than he already has. We all knew his son was going to get pardoned. No one would ever let their son go to prison if they had the power to stop it. But just like every hoax, whether it's Russia or Smollett going out for a footlong at 2 a.m. January in Chicago, the media fell for it. They said Joe had principles.
A presidential promise to put the law before a family.
Our current president of the United States has
so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. I mean, what, you know, again, it's all about the contrast.
He is not pardoning his son, which he could do. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country. And it is, I mean, if you want to know if he believes it, you could actually see what is happening with his own son.
Yeah. This whole time, Biden was the lying dog-faced pony soldier. How the heck did the media get to a place where they assume any politician is telling the truth? Finally, the left is as sick as being lied to as we are. Now, we'd have a lot more respect for Biden if he had said, yeah, I'm going to pardon Hunter. He's my only son. But he acts like he has a monopoly on morality. At least Trump doesn't make promises he knows he's going to break. You might not agree with what he does, but when he says he's going to pardon Jan 6ers, he'll probably do it. Recess his cabinet, he'll probably do it. Fire the FBI director, he's done it once, he'll do it again. Joe Biden tells you he's George Washington, and then he acts like Benedict Arnold. And it breaks the Democrats' heart every time.
I just want Democrats to stop acting like they are on this moral high ground politically when they have shown us they're not, you know, whether it's skipping the primary process when Biden stepped down and things like Biden pardoning his son. Stop acting like y'all the pure party and Republicans aren't.
Jeffrey Toobin, who knows a little something about dishonoring the office, says, quote, Biden's pardon for his son dishonors the office. Governor of Colorado, Democrat, says Biden put his family ahead of the country. And now Biden's legacy is in the crosshairs again.
This pardon is just deflating. Joe Biden just made clear his son Hunter is above the law.
Is a really bad look for him, and I think it's potentially a destructive thing for his party. People's opinions that the system is somehow stacked in favor of Democrats against Republicans. I think this looks like the nation's head Democrat using the system for his own benefit.
This pardon will tarnish Joe Biden's legacy. I mean, Joe Biden, let's be clear here, he lied to us for a long time.
Ooh. The media is even having Democrats do the walk of shame for lying to their audience. Watch this.
In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him.
What does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It had already fallen
that
through.
Only. Sorry?
When you reacted, this was when the deal had fallen through.
Democrats have made liars out of the media, and look what happened. The Democrats are out of power, and the media is out of viewers. Democrat numbers guru Nate Silver is so angry, he's telling Democrats to not vote for any Democrat in 2028 who doesn't repudiate the pardon within 48 hours.
Wow.
But Eric Holder, Obama's wingman, says the pardon was warranted. Had his name been Joe Smith, it would have been a different story. He's right. If Hunter was Joe Smith, he'd be in prison for drug possession, sex trafficking, tax evasion, money laundering, foreign lobbying, and probably wire fraud. Joe Smith would have been in federal lockup sharing a cell with Mookie. Anyway, we were told that a president who pardons a family member is guilty of obstruction.
In the event the president pardons anyone in an investigation in which the president is a witness, a subject, or the target, those investigative files will all be turned over to the Congress. The Congress ought to know whether the president is using the pardon power to obstruct justice. The American people have a right to know. I think it is clearly constitutional. It doesn't prohibit him from granting a pardon, even a pardon he shouldn't grant. But it does say that we will be able to at least find out whether the president is using this power to shield himself from liability.
Joe Biden, by pardoning Hunter, was kind of pardoning himself.
Yes.
But the media doesn't think Joe went far enough. They want a pocket pardon.
I hope that President Biden will also issue preemptive pardons to all of those people threatened by the injustice of what will become the Department of Justice in the Trump administration. That, of course, includes Jack Smith and all of his staff, many Department of Justice lawyers. It includes President Biden himself.
Guys, remember how I told you, I think Julie Renee, somebody asked about pardoning in the future, and could Joe Biden pardon illegals? Pocket pardons, guys. This is what they're talking about, where they can go ahead and put a pardon for people that they think that Trump is going to go after in the future whenever he's president.
Though we don't know that anyone can legally pardon themselves, he will need a pardon because he is going to be harassed and charged for no crimes whatsoever.
Why would Joe need blanket pardons for himself and his son if he didn't do anything wrong? If he didn't want Hunter to do prison time, he could have just commuted his sentences and said he dished out blanket immunity, absolving Hunter of all past and future sins. The pardon dates back all the way to 2014.
That's crazy.
Now, what happened in 2014? That's when Hunter joined Burisma, and that's when Joe was handed the Ukraine portfolio. In a way, Trump was impeached for wanting to look into what Joe pardoned Hunter for. And this pardon covers the Ukraine money, the Russia money, the China money, and the diamonds, the paintings, and all those back taxes. Got to hand it to the big guy. He tied this operation up with a perfect bow. He had his son fly all over the world in his jet, selling access to his dad, hoovering up all the foreign cash all over the world, not paying any taxes on it, setting up shady shell companies to hide the money from the IRS, and then paying for the Biden family lifestyle because none of the Biden family members could make a clean living on their own. Then he got caught before an election. The FBI and the CIA covered it up. His son was found guilty, pardons him. So the family gets to keep the cash, and Hunter doesn't have to pay a price. If you're running a criminal enterprise, it's brilliant. Joe really pulled it off. But he didn't do it without a lot of help. We believe Hunter Biden was an intelligence operation, whether he even knew it or not. He was going all over the world selling access to his dad, right under the nose of our intel agencies, who had a clear view of who was dirty and who was being blackmailed. Notice everyone around Hunter Biden's either in prison, awaiting sentencing, fled the country, or just disappeared. Everyone Hunter was talking to was on FBI wiretap. And every time someone sniffed around the Biden family, they got blocked. The IRS whistleblowers started looking into the big guy, blocked. FBI informants, ignored. The Secret Service cleaned up all his messes. The DOJ tried to give him a sweetheart deal just before a judge smoked it out. And when Congress wanted to talk to the sugar brother, you know, the guy who paid millions out of pocket to cover Hunter's taxes, the CIA told investigators, stand down. The sugar brother was untouchable.
Can you believe this?
This pardon is the deep state's screw you before Trump returns. Catch me if you can.
Guys, I'm telling you, like, the stuff that we are finding out is insane. But I want to show you something that's actually breaking news right now. It just got posted just a couple of minutes ago. Check this out. So, you ever heard of a guy by the name of Joe Manchin? Well, he has come out and he's just flabbergasted that Joe Biden pardoned his son. Because remember, there's a big thing about pardoning people, but there's another level to it of pardoning your own family. Well, man, I don't know why the internet, guys, is so slow around here. I wonder if we're actually getting snow where I'm at, guys. I'm in just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and we're getting snow, and I wonder if it's slowing down the internet or something. But I'm loading this video for you because I'm just loading it because they just broke, and this is pretty insane. Check this out.
As a father, I don't know of a father that wouldn't have done the same thing. What I would have done differently, my recommendation as a counsel would have been, why don't you go ahead and pardon Donald Trump for all his charges and make it, it'd have gone down a lot more balanced, if you will. I'm just saying, wipe them out.
What do you think this does for his legacy?
I don't know. From that standpoint, it makes it difficult.
Guys, so you just heard it. Joe Manchin said, look, man, you should have just pardoned Donald Trump for anything that he's done that they've tried to go after him. Make it balanced. That's what Joe Manchin was. Remember, it was only because of this guy that we didn't spend another almost $2 trillion in spending from Biden. He was the one vote that stopped all the extra spending. But guess what? Biden's not stopping, because right now, while all this is happening, he just sent Ukraine another $750 million. Check this out.
The Biden family's close relationship with Ukraine goes back a long way. So back in 2014, Joe's son Hunter joined the board of the Ukrainian company Burisma. The first year his pardon covers, well, of course. And that made big investments in energy companies and other energy interests, especially gas interests. And in the process, Hunter, with zero experience, raked in big, big money. In fact, according to the House Oversight Committee, the entire Biden family and associates made a staggering $6.5 million from Ukraine.
Ugh.
And now, as a parting gift to Ukraine, knowing that Donald Trump will force an end to the war, Biden is sending an additional $725 million in military aid to Zelensky. That means drones, artillery rocket systems, anti-personnel landmines, and a partridge in a pear tree.
If and however this war ends, it's got to end in a way that is commensurate with the aspirations of the Ukrainian people, and quite frankly, with President Zelensky and the policies and pursuits that he's after. He gets to decide if and when he's ready to negotiate, and he gets to decide what, if anything, he's willing to negotiate.
Okay, did he say the aspirations of the Ukrainian people has to be commensurate with their aspirations? I mean, we wish the best for the people of Ukraine, but these people didn't even know the aspirations of the American people. That's why they lost the election. So nice try, John. But if this is a $725 million holiday gift to U.S. defense contractors, isn't it also a $725 million theft from the U.S. taxpayers? Joining us now is Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, the aspirations of the Ukrainian people, that really does say it all. This is why they lost the election in part.
Yeah, why shouldn't the interests of the American people be the absolute #1 goal? I know it is for Donald Trump, which is why Joe Biden is trying to tie his hands. And Laura, listen, he's also asking, Biden is, for Congress to appropriate even more money to Ukraine beyond what he's sending him now. He wants billions more. That's in his end of the year funding request. It is totally ridiculous. It's time for him to admit that his Ukraine policy has been a total disaster. It's in complete shambles. And I tell you, Donald Trump cannot get to office fast enough. We need him now to bring peace to the region and to make sure America's interests are put first.
Well, the deal that Biden and company scotched at the beginning of this war, before the war started, that would have avoided the war, it looks like what they're going to end up with is worse than they would have gotten had they not done this at all. That's what it looks like, at least. It could change. But now Senator Zelensky has a magic solution to end the war. Watch.
If we want to stop the hot stage of the war, we should take under NATO umbrella the territory of Ukraine that we have under our control.
Your reaction, Senator?
No, absolutely not. They should not put any part of Ukraine in NATO. And listen, this administration is already risking World War III by greenlighting the use of American weapons into Russian territory. What will happen if Moscow responds by sending a weapon, a missile, you name it, into the territory of a NATO country? We'll all be at war. The idea that now we would expand NATO to include Ukraine is extremely dangerous. It is a recipe for constant conflict, including American soldiers, boots on the ground in Europe from now until forever. It is a disastrous idea. It's exactly the wrong thing to do. And listen, here's another point about the need to settle this conflict. What the Biden administration has been telling senators behind closed doors for literally 2 years now, Laura, is that there will have to be a negotiated peace. The Secretary of State was saying that 2 years ago. So out in public, they're saying war forever. Behind closed doors, they're saying, well, we're going to have to negotiate. They just don't want to make the hard choices to do it. And
you know what I love? You know what I love? As long as it takes. How many times did we hear that we will be sending billions to Ukraine, quote, for as long as it takes? You know what I said? For as long as Joe Biden is president. We have a new president. It's going to be a new set of rules. Senator, You've been great on this. Thank you.
Guys, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. Like, can you imagine all the people that are in North Carolina that still need help? Like, it literally hurts my heart to think about so many of the people in America that need help. Yet we can look on the news and see constantly hundreds of millions to billions of dollars being sent overseas. Check this out. Vladimir Zelensky admits the Ukrainian army lacks the strength to take back some territories seized by Russia. So they literally, what he just said was, we can't win. We don't have enough strength. We don't have enough people. We're not going to be able to win this war. And that's where, remember, Trump stated that if you do not come to the deal, to the table to negotiate a deal, we're going to cut off all aid to Ukraine. And I feel like a lot of things are about to change. You know, we've got so much happening on the front with here internally with immigration. We've also got where overseas, Iran has said they're not going to attack Israel anymore now that Trump has won. It just shows you big time where things are at. But guys, I'm telling you, when you think about the people that make things happen, one of them is Governor DeSantis of Florida. Listen to the things he says, because I'm telling you, it's not over. Check this out.
Call out the Biden enrichment scam. Joining me now is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor, I've been dying to talk to you tonight about this. Do you expect that, given the reaction to this pardon, that Biden would also issue a pardon to, I don't know, President Trump or any of Trump's associates proactively and preemptively?
Well, Laura, I think the American people spoke on that. Here you have Joe Biden. One, he lied to the American people again, and his whole presidency has been a blizzard of lies. But he didn't just pardon his son on specific offenses or even commute the potential sentences there. He pardoned him for everything from going back to 2014 to the present. Why? Because they wanted to be able to protect against any inquiries into the Biden family business. And we know that has been subject to scrutiny for many, many years. And so this is a guy that came into office saying his predecessor was a threat to democracy, a threat to our institutions. And what does he do? He corruptly abuses the pardon power to give his son blanket immunity and by extension, protect himself from having any inquiry. I think it's the opposite with President Trump. They manipulated the law to go after Donald Trump for political reasons. And just think about it, Laura, you've watched politics for a long time. If the electorate actually believed Donald Trump was guilty of serious federal crimes, he would not have been elected in the manner that he did. So the American people spoke, not only rejecting Biden-Harris's policies, but also rejecting the abuse of the legal process against Donald Trump. Those cases are dead. Donald Trump doesn't need a pardon. I think if Biden tried to do it, it may just be too cute by half.
Governor, Pam Bondi is, of course, the president's nominee to be Attorney General. She was Attorney General, obviously, of the great state of Florida. How do you expect her to take on what is desperately needed, a reform of the DOJ, and obviously a nominee for the FBI, Kash Patel? But let's start with Bondi.
Well, I think the mission there is to understand that this is an institution that's run amok. And you got to go in there, and I think Pam will. Don't try to be liked by the bureaucrats. Expect to be attacked relentlessly by the corporate press. And know that when that happens, that's a badge of honor. That means you're doing the right thing. The bureaucrats are not going to like you. They're going to try to stifle. So you got to go in with that mindset, understanding we need major reform. And then I think you also have to go in understanding the levers of power that are available to you, because they will try to frustrate. Main justice has, of course, become a cesspool. You also have little outposts that think they're immune from accountability, like the Southern District of New York. So have a plan to be able to go bring accountability to that and restore the rule of law. There's a lot that needs to be done. I was, back in the day, a special assistant U.S. attorney 20-some years ago. It was an institution then I think we thought of a lot differently than now. So just understand, this isn't your father's DOJ. This is an institution run amok. You are going to ruffle feathers. People are going to be upset when you do the right thing, but take that as positive feedback.
Yeah.
Look at what they did to you during COVID. Look at what they did to you from the beginning, and you just kept going on hurricane relief and all the rest. Now, Governor, the FBI itself has also been a cesspool of corruption. And not to say there are not some good people in the FBI, there obviously are. But what do you say to the senators on Capitol Hill that are already quietly vowing to put up roadblocks to the president's choice to be FBI director, Kash Patel? What do you say to them given the outcome of this election?
So, one, I think you do owe the president a great deal of deference on his picks. Kash Patel understands the problems with the FBI, and he is a reformer that will not be captured by the bureaucrats. Contrast that to our current FBI director, Christopher Wray. We remember when he got appointed back in 2017, he immediately became a company man and was captured by that institution. He has not reformed it in any way, shape, or form. And so I actually think Kash has a lot of very significant experience that's important here. But put that aside, you can be the smartest guy in the world, you can have all this experience. If you don't understand that the institution needs to be reformed, if you get captured, then you're done. You're not going to be effective. And so I think Donald Trump in this pick and others, he's making sure he's getting people who have the proper posture to these institutions. These are not the revered institutions that they may have been 30 years ago. These are very problematic institutions. Kash understands that. I think a lot of Republican senators understand that, but apparently not enough do.
Do you expect him to get confirmed, Governor?
I do.
All right. Governor DeSantis.
Let's go, guys. This is big, big news. A lot of the dream team is coming together, and I'm telling you, as crazy it is what you're about to see, guys, we need some big changes in the United States right now. Thank you so much, Sheila Brown, for the super chat. Game over, 100% for the Democrats. And Julie Renee, who said, I wonder what Zelensky would say if we said we can't give you money. We have U.S. citizens in North Carolina that need help. You need to figure it out on your own. I think he'd be peeing in his pants. He'd be crying. Thank you so much, Julie and Sheila. Y'all show them some love in the chat, everybody. So, guys, this is blowing up over X. Edison, New Jersey Council bans the American flags in meetings. Are you even kidding me? Guys, this is how crazy if some of these people were literally in the United States of America. And look, this citizen, this man was escorted out of the council meeting by police because he had an American flag. You're literally in the United States of America. And this is how much they hate the United States. We need to get these people out, buy them a nice plane ticket, one way out. Hey, if you don't like it here, go somewhere else. But quit trying to make the United States not the United States for the rest of us. It is literally insane what we are seeing. Jennifer Tyree, thank you so much for the super chat. Said my sons Tristan and Grayson love your show. Let's go, Tristan, Grayson. You hope y'all having a good night. Appreciate y'all so much. Y'all show Jennifer some love in the chat, everybody. But guys, this is why we need reform. This is why we need somebody like Kash Patel running the show, because we got too many crazies that are out there trying to literally undo America. Like, you're in America. If just like I think it was Elon Musk said that, hey, in order to be a citizen, you have to love America. You have to love what it stands for. Freedom. Freedom of religion. Freedom of speech. Freedom to bear arms. All these things. If you don't, then you cannot be a citizen. And it blows my mind that this council actually approved no American flags. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Tonight's been a crazy, crazy show. Just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so I can serve you every day with the top news. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button. We love y'all and appreciate y'all so much, guys. Thank you to all of our members of the channel. The ones I see right now, Judy Lynn Loving Spirit, Chip Trap, Deanna Scott, Tay Matt Chong, QDA, Kingdom Mind, Let's Go, Julie Renee, B1 Sly One, Darcy's T Corner, Sherry Clem. Guys, y'all are amazing. We couldn't do it without you. We are here to serve you. And thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation, guys. We're going to have such an amazing blessing to give. in this month's charity. Remember, every month we give live online. We show you that we are going to be a channel that gives back. Together, we are doing good and bringing a positive change into this world. Thank you so much, Lily O'Brien, B1 Sly One, Judy Lid Loving Spirit, Queen of Yeshua, Chip Trap, Andy, Julie Renee, Deanna Rankin, Sheila Brown, Jennifer Tyree. Let's go. Y'all showed them some love in the chat. Guys, it's been an amazing show. We're going to get some fireworks. Love you all. Appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.